Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. It's me, not you. 1969 says I usually don't listen live, and now I understand the fuck why. Relax. I had to go to the bathroom. What do you want? It's frankly, on a day like today, give me a little wiggle room. I woke up late today. It wasn't a great night at all. When you go to bed and you're like pretty pissed, and then 2.5 hours later, you wake up and you're like, why am I awake? What's going on? Something woke me up. What was it? I don't know. I don't remember a dream or anything like that. Excuse me. And I'm starting to fall right back to sleep, and then I'm awake again. I'm like, wait, I think I just heard something. What was that? And then a little bit of time passes, and then beep. I'm like, oh no. Don't even tell me that this is the night. Don't tell me that this is the night. A little bit of time passes. Beep. Fucking shit. It's going off. It's the fire fucking smoke alarm thing. It's now decided. And I had read that I think, because people say, why does it always happen like in the middle of the night? And I think it has something to do with the temperature in the house. I don't know. But I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Well, maybe I can just sleep through it. That's impossible. That is impossible. Makes you wonder if in the course of human history, there has ever been a time where someone was like, it's going off, beep, beep, and then someone doesn't change the battery. And then like 3 minutes later, something happens and the house goes up in flames and everybody dies. Or like conversely, someone goes, I better just get up and change these, and then changes them. And then 3 minutes later, the whole house goes crazy because it's burning. And then everybody gets out, safe and sound. These are the things I think about. So I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, all right, I get out of bed and I walk into the hall. And I'm like, where is it? Now I have to, I'm standing out in the hall in my underwear. I'm like, all right, now I got to pinpoint because they're all over the fucking place. And luckily, it was the one right there, like right outside of the door. I'm like, okay, there it is. Let's go. Let's do this. Get the alarm. I look. There's 3 of the double A's batteries. Fucking great. Piece of cake. March downstairs. Go to get the fresh ones. We've got C's and D's and the 9 volts. We've got the nickel cadmiums. We've got the lithiums. We've got the ones for the RV. We've got the ones for the car. But there are no double A's or triple A's anywhere. You've got to be kidding me. So there are 2 remotes right now with no batteries in them. No, I did not touch the remote that the NFK uses. Now, that would have been an entirely different problem. All right, put them in there. All right, good to go. I put the thing on the wall, and then I guess the alarm system, because they all talk to each other, is now talking to the main alarm. And I hear a beep from way far away in the house, and then another one from right in my face at this other siren. Totally different thing. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? Is it having a conversation saying, hey, the asshole just put in the batteries? I couldn't tell you. But now there's more noise in the house. Like, what the fuck? I went downstairs. touch the pad. It says you got to hit this, spin in a circle, do the Macarena, run outside, bang on your neighbor's door, come back, hit the star button, call a phone number, send an email, drive to the gas station, come back, hit this button, and it'll work. God damn it. So now I'm wide awake. O'Neal has to go to the bathroom. All right, go on. Let's have a fucking party. Let's bust out the chili again. Okay? It's 1 a.m. Let's do this. Jesus. Bob says, when do smoke detectors take anything besides 9-volt? Well, I take it back. This one is not a smoke detector. It's a fire detector. It's a fire CO. I don't know. They're all over the fucking place here. Amanda says Diana slept through the whole thing. I guess. I don't know. Easy went the extra mile. When you're having the type of evening we were to have last night, you got to go with the Eric Zane Show podcast, Slaughter the Turks Armenian Sweet Heat Chili, which I did. And it was, I was ready. I was so ready. In fact, I was out in front of the house with Darla on a leash going potty, and Jacqueline, my daughter, and my son-in-law, Justin, they come whipping around the corner because it's about 2 minutes before the game is going to kick off. And I hear, they're like rushing in. I'm like, easy, take it easy. Everybody's kind of dialed in. Everybody in the entire state and beyond is ready to watch this game. After that game between Kansas City and Baltimore, if you think Lions fans feel bad, the Baltimore fans, oh, my God. Everybody was coronating the Baltimore Ravens. And, Lamar, that guy, Lamar, he drops back 3 steps, takes half a second, and then just tucks it and runs. And fucking nothing going on at all. That was brutal. And more on that in a bit. I kind of want to, there's a lot of Lion talk sprinkled in here. Okay. But if I just open up a 2-hour show and just start whatever, talking about them, I'm kind of working in reverse order. I'm bouncing around. I realize that. But for your old pal EZ, when they got off to the fast start and it was 14-0, I was like, son of a bitch. But then San Francisco scored to make it 14-7. And I was like, okay. Even when the Lions made it 21-7, I was like, And then late, they made it 24-7. Even then, I tweeted out, I go, what the hell is happening here? But in the back of my brain, I was like, there's no fucking way this game is over. No way whatsoever. None. Now, at this point, a lot of that gets blurry to me. Like, I don't know the sequence of events. All I know is they were up by 17 points, and right now, they're getting ready to play golf. Cole writes, for one night, Detroit was America's team. Then we all got to feel the crushing defeat that Lions fans have lived forever. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the feeling, I don't echo that. I don't know what you mean by that, because the Lions haven't been in any enormously big games very much at all in my memory. Nothing as big as this in the last 32 years. And in fact, 32 years ago when they were in the NFC Championship game, it wasn't close from the start. They were slaughtered in that game from from the very beginning of it. And so you knew it was over. This was special because, you're thinking, God damn it, they just played 30 minutes of fantastic football, and they are kicking the 49ers' butts on the road. The fans are out of the game. The Lions fans are chanting Jared Goff. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, this may happen. We may be going to the Super Bowl. Holy shit. Okay. So the level of the emotional swing from that to where it ultimately wound up has never, by anyone, anywhere, been felt. We've never lost something so big. The Lions fans have never lost something so big. The Lions never have felt a disappointment of this level. We've never had it to a point where there was so much excitement. You're seeing videos online of fans like at bars going crazy. I texted Bill and I wrote, Billy. And he goes, it's happening. And I go, I know. Oh, my God. But in the back of my brain, I was like, come on now. Take it easy. There's still plenty of football. And, at the end of the day, these are still the San Francisco 49ers. Really not a lot of weaknesses on that team. And what it all boils down to is, for the second half of that football game, that is the classic definition. Okay, some people will say when the pressure is on, you stop performing well. That is the polite way of saying you choked. And they did. All of those plays were a choke. Josh Reynolds dropping the ball. Amon-Ra St. Brown dropping the ball. The point where Goff got the ball to hand it off to Gibbs, and Gibbs is like on the wrong side, I guess. They described it as he's supposed to be on the other side, and he's like, wait, what are you doing? And then he hands him the ball, and Gibbs is holding it like with his two index fingers. He's barely got the ball. The 49ers just punch it out. Ball goes flying. It was right after the fact that the one guy, Vildor, who I don't know him too well, who was covering Brandon Ayuk. Two things happen. Vildor is going to intercept it on that long pass play. He goes up. The ball's going right to his hands. He's going to pick it off. Somehow the ball goes through his hands and hits him right in the fucking face. And then it bounces, and Ayuk catches the ball. What? Come on. So you've got drop balls, fumbles. This is all in succession. It was one thing after another, and just like that, we could all feel it. Now, as soon as it started to kind of slip away, I'm like, all right, well, okay, they're down 10. All right, okay, they're down 7. Oh, my God. If they score here, it's tied. All right, well, we can still come back and win it. And I kept like debating that with myself. They can still pick up the pace. They can still do it. And then right around between 5 and 6 minutes to go, I'm like, all right, I'm out. Fuck this shit. And I went upstairs and took a shower. And I was like, there is no fucking way. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about drop balls, fumbles. I don't give a shit about third down, fourth down. I don't give a shit about touchdowns, field goals. It didn't matter. There's no way we were going to win that game. Okay? San Francisco was so lights out in that second half. They did everything right. There were moments when the Lions, they kept like this quarterback, Brock Purdy, the pocket would collapse. And so he's dropping back to pass. And this is something we've seen a million times with Aaron Rodgers. And I don't know shit about football, but all I know is that they would get close to him, and then he'd run for 15 yards at key moments in the game. And all I remember is the NFK calling him a filthy mother effer and my wife screaming at the top of her lungs. And I'm just sitting there. Before the game started, I said to her, I go, look, I need to have a talk with you. What? I go, look, if you haven't noticed, I'm pretty quiet when I watch those games. And during those plays, you screaming at the top of your lungs, it really stresses me out. Okay. And that, she blew right through that and just screamed more than she's ever screamed before. And Jackie's sitting right next to her. And Jackie's like, Mom, come, what? Scaring the shit out of her. Oh, my God. And then the NFK is I mean, fuck you. He cheers in a weird way. You know, Diana is screaming, get him. Purdy drops back to pass, and Kevin goes, fuck you, fuck off. He's like responding to him through some weird TV thing. Fuck you, eat shit, fuck you. I'm like, God damn it, stop, shut the fuck up. Just watch the game. Oh, it was just remarkable. But yeah, that feeling, that momentum loss feel is like, oh boy, this is rough. I can feel it. Tyler had a comment on Facebook, and he wrote, yeah, this gives me PTSD to that same old Lions feel. Yeah, but it was amplified because of what was at stake. They can go to the Super Bowl. My God. Tyler writes, it actually looked like a spell was cast over the entire team, and they all had no idea where they were or what they were doing exactly. That's a choke. That is a choke. Pressure on the line, and you perform less. You actually, it happens. It happens. And I'm not guy to sit there and, what can you do? San Francisco did not. When the pressure was on, they performed outstanding. Outstanding. What do people always say? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And boy, did they finish strong. Son of a bitch. And people are quick to blame the Lions, but at the end of the day, the 49ers, my God, so many weapons on that team. I had real struggles with a couple of things in particular. Deebo Samuel. All right. For starters, the guy on the Lions, GJ, what the fuck is his name? I don't know. He's a defensive back. Gardner Johnson, CJ Gardner Johnson. That guy's an asshole. He doesn't play the whole goddamn year. During the year, he's talking shit with Samuel. He is known as, for the Lions, the biggest trash talker on the team. I don't think he fits with the culture of this team, frankly. I don't like that guy. During the game, there was a moment when Rodriguez intercepted the ball, and then he runs it quite a ways back. So he's, hanging out, goes out of bounds at like the 15 or the 20 of San Francisco. But during the run back, Gardner Johnson snuck up to Deebo Samuel and illegal blocked him, which is a personal foul. So that negates the return by Rodriguez. Fuck, you hurt your team there. Now, the Lions ultimately scored a touchdown on that drive, so I guess it didn't matter. But still, that type of bullshit is terrible. And then that asshole, when the first half is winding down, that motherfucker is waving at the fans like, bye-bye, bye-bye. It's like, dude, don't do that. Are you fucking crazy? You do that when there's like, 11 or 12 seconds left. So that was fucked. And then there's another guy, Cam Sutton, for the Lions. And he actually played one of his better games, but he still has so many glaring moments of problems. I know this is inside baseball here, and minutia, but he can't tackle anybody. He goes to tackle, and then people just like, fuck you. God damn. So this stinks. This stinks. And I see a lot of people that are like, oh, yeah, but next year. It's like, well, I don't know. I'm not Lions fan to sit there and say, we're going to be great next year. I couldn't tell you. I don't know enough. I felt pretty good about them going into this year. I certainly hope. Hope springs eternal. Of course, keep rooting for the Lions. Love the Lions. Ben Weller says if Brad Holmes is the GM, they're fine. Also interesting is the Lions offensive coach, the offensive coordinator. His name is, I think, Ben Johnson. He was kind of like the darling because of how strong the team was offensively. Well, it's looking like he's going to leave, and a lot of people expected that, and likely he'll be coaching the Washington Commanders. So, well, back to the drawing board. I don't feel that terrible because it was an outstanding fucking season. It was great to watch outside of the losses here and there but they showed up and ultimately did not show up in the second half of that game in any way, shape, or form. Let's be honest here. They fucking sucked in the second half. It was terrible. That was a collapse. Someone said, a friend of mine, Brent, said, we are now the Atlanta Falcons. I think the Atlanta Falcons, like a decade ago, I think they were up by like 95 points on the Patriots. And there was like 4 minutes to go in the Super Bowl, and like the Patriots came all the way back and won the goddamn game. Darla! No. Hey, stop doing that. Look at her brother, O'Neal. Oh, my God. So I think that in the NFC Championship game, the biggest deficit was 17 points, which is what the Lions were up by. I was like, oh, boy, man, my God. And someone also said that the Lions doing what they always do, and that is choke. And I said, well, not exactly. They've been just horrible. And all of a sudden, they were good. So they haven't really had to play any big, significant games to choke in. So that's not exactly true. Now, yes, this was a choke, but it's either, they just get slaughtered. That's pretty much how it has been. So, I woke up today, and that the Today Show is typically a ritual that I have to watch. But not today. No. I'm not watching the Today Show today because, they're going to start and talk about the football games. And there's just no fucking way that I'm watching that. Honestly, I don't see myself. Now I have to watch the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. I have to. But fuck. If I didn't have this job, I wouldn't even watch that fucking game right now. Of course, I have 2 weeks to get over it. And I'm kind of over it already, as you can tell. I'm pretty stoked with the season that they had. A deep run. Fuck, more than a deep run. They had just about as deep as you could go without going to the Super Bowl. So they got a lot to be proud of, those guys. And hopefully they keep the same core guys and everything continues as planned. And they can build on that success for next year. That's the thing, are they a one and done? That would be absolutely disappointing if they were a one and done. But I certainly hope that they can build upon that. I know that going into the year, a lot of people will have a lot of expectations for them in a follow-up season after a year that they went as far as they did. But that about puts an end to the Lions talk for this year. I'm glad that we were able to talk about them for as long as we were. So rare to have that, and I'm trying not to lose sight of that. Ben writes, it seems like as the story of good teams go, Detroit is still on their upward trajectory. They reached the doorstep this year. Next year, the walk-in. Yes, but. It would be not that surprising if they went backwards, because I hate to do this, but at the end of the day, this is still the Detroit Lions. All right? And the last time they did this, they got to the NFC Championship game. And then the following year, I think they won like 5 games. Now, motherfuck, if after all of this, they lay an egg for the entire year, now that would be painful. So I'm trying to remain calm about this. Again, you got to understand, expect the worst, hope for the best. So what you need to do is right now say, they're probably going to lose a bunch of games next year. You actually need to say that out loud. They're going to be horrible next year. Now, this is just an easy trick. And then hope for the best. And if they start out 6-0, you're like, well, that's great. And then you're like, the next step of this is they're probably going to lose the next 6. You got to be careful. You must be careful. Patrick says, I think that good players want to play in Detroit now. And that's one of the things. That guy, Dan Campbell, everybody loves Dan Campbell. Okay, he loves his players, and the players love him. Paul says, that's spoken like a true Lions fan. I love it with what I said. And I know that some people might be like, well, no, come on, you got to be all rah, rah. It's like, look, it took 50 years plus for all of that attitude to become normal. All right? And that's not the fault of the fans. So Lions fans are given some wiggle room when it comes to their attitudes. This is just how I do it. I try not to be too invested to where I'm like, oh, they're going to win, they're going to win, they're going to win. I didn't think that they were going to win. Well, I didn't know. I wasn't confident in any one of those playoff games. In fact, I said publicly that the Rams were going to beat them, that the Lions' season ends against the Rams. And they won. And Tampa, I was sweating that whole fucking game. Tampa gave them every fucking thing they could handle. That was no easy task to beat Tampa. And truth be told, the Lions' defense was lit up by both teams' passing games. Like, they talked about it during the game yesterday. They gave up so many yards in both those games. It was only in this NFC Championship game that they really, like in that first half, to be that out and far in front and everything clicking. Okay, that was cruel. That was very, very cruel, because I had that same attitude of, expect the worst, but hope for the best. And oh my God, as that faded, I was like, oh shit, this is ugly. Luca Maverick 13 is new. Welcome. Says, what are your thoughts on Brock Purdy? That is, in my opinion, a fantastic quarterback. A lot of times quarterbacks, when the pocket collapses, they get happy feet and they run like right into the arms of a defensive player, play over. He's one step ahead of the defense. to remain that calm when all of that shit is going on is nuts. And then, boom, he needs 14, he gets 15. And I haven't watched him enough to know if that's how he plays. I don't know if that's a regular thing. They said he isn't that athletic, but, I mean, you don't need to be athletic when you can sense where there are no players and run there. And, you know, I didn't see anything that makes me think that he's anything other than an elite quarterback. There was a couple overthrows and shit like that, but who doesn't have that? First half was tough for him, but, you know, he's solid, all right? And he also is loaded with some fantastic players. That Christian McCaffrey, this is my thing about Christian McCaffrey. I don't think I saw once where he was carrying that ball where the guy who hit him first stuffed him. Even if he gets hit, as soon as he gets the damn ball, he goes forward. Positive yardage, churning it out. God damn. And then Samuel is made out of rubber. Brandon Ayuk, great hands. George Kittle, excellent blocking tight end, and can get open and make plays in the defensive secondary. The defense, stout. Fuck. I think it's going to be a great Super Bowl. I really do. Tyler says anytime a quarterback runs against the Lions, they all stand there surprised like, wait, he can do that? Then realize they're supposed to tackle him. It sure felt that way. It looked that way, too. Yeah, well. A lot of people are commenting about Dan Campbell going for it on fourth down. I love Dan Campbell going for it on fourth down. From a team that constantly would settle for field goals, finally, we've got a goddamn coach with big swinging nuts who will go for it on fourth down. I'm pissed when they try a field goal. Fuck yes, you go for it. You did that shit all year. Go for it. Fucking ram it right up their ass. Did it work? No. You know, and that's what happens. Players drop balls. But no, I love all those decisions. Absolutely. You go get out there and win the fucking game. And they would have. They would have had those plays been made. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. Kick field goals or don't kick field goals. It wasn't going to matter if we were picking up first downs or kicking field goals. We weren't stopping the San Francisco 49ers. They were too fucking good. They were outstanding in the second half. Nick says, calling plays like a 12-year-old on Madden football. All right, good. Fuck yes. Big Dan Campbell supporter. I stand with Dan. So it stings. Okay, I covered it. Lions, NFK, Diana screaming, first half, awesome. These were the notes that I wrote, okay, because I write down like my thoughts before I start the show, what I'm going to hit. I think I've hit them all. This is my intro. The last 30 minutes of me talking, I wrote Lions, NFK, Diana screaming, first half, awesome, but knowing we needed more points, uneasy from the start of the second half, true choke job. As the pressure mounted, so did the mistakes. San Francisco kept cool. 5 minutes left. I gave up and took a shower. So that's pretty much it. Fuck. Chili was good, though. I've been watching what I've been eating, like for the last, trying to take care of myself a little better and eating more appropriately. And I knew that last night was not going to be the day for that, or the night for that. Bowled up my chili, sour cream, cheese, oyster crackers. Boom. Second bowl. Then toasted coconut ice cream. Then Diana had some sponge cake raspberry thing with oh my God, did I eat? That reminded me of when I threw the Super Bowl party for myself. After I finished the second dessert, there was actually 2 courses on dessert. After I finished the second dessert, I said, uh-oh, be careful. You don't want to eat yourself sick. It was the Super Bowl with the Patriots and the Carolina Panthers, Jake Delhomme. Excuse me. And I was living in Jackson, New Jersey. Diana had to work on the night of the Super Bowl at Tommy's Roadside Inn across the street from Great Adventure. So I'm watching the kids. Jack, Jim, very little. Madison, still in a high chair. And I proceeded to have a Super Bowl party only for me. There was no one else there. So I made all this fucking food. Oh, my God. All sorts of, wings and snacks and chips. And I grilled up a steak for myself. And I remember the cocktail wieners. I had the barbecue cocktail wieners in its own little mini crock pot. And I remember those so vividly because when I threw them up, a lot of them were only like one bite out of them. I would barely chew them. For some reason, I just ate and ate and ate. And then the game ends. Patriots win. I forget how the fuck they won. Of course they won. And then the kids go to bed. And I'm laying there. Dinah's not home from work yet. And I'm like, uh-oh. It's like I drank all night, you know? Ate myself sick. How hideous is that? So now today I'm back on the wagon today. Back on the wagon. Let's go with some smoothies. Let's go with, various things like that. Completely on the wagon. All right. To me, this is therapy, and I appreciate you being here for it. Get it out of your system. It's now gone. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. It's over. All right. Bill Simonson writes that he will be on the radio today with a therapy session. Now, I don't know how that works, but knowing Bill, he's just going to sit there and bitch and armchair quarterback it. Which, if you've noticed, I have not. I'm just describing to you how I feel, which is what I do. Only assholes armchair quarterback. Not that Bill's an asshole, but that could be asshole-like behavior if you armchair quarterback the Lions. At the end of the day, whether it's listening to me right now, broadcasting on TV on the NFL network, or whatever, at the end of the day, I don't give a shit who you are. There is not one person who knows what the fuck they're talking about. Nobody. No armchair quarterbacking from me on this. Because to me, then I just get pissed off. In fact, in the amount of time that I've been talking to you today, I feel 1,000,000% better now than when I started it. Because I've kind of talked it out of my system. I'm just glad that the team was good enough to be able to have that type of angst after they finished. It was a great year. So hats off to the Lions, all Lions fans everywhere. You packed the place. You made so much damn noise. You're chanting Jared Goff. They're chanting Jared Goff at the Griffins game. Now, let me go over this from my perspective. It's Friday night, and out of the blue, I start hearing a random chant. Now, I have headphones on, so it's muted. And I'm like, what the fuck am I hearing? Why are they chanting, and why are they chanting so loud? And then it dawns on me, they're chanting Jared Goff. Now, I hadn't known that was becoming a thing. That happened quickly, where they did it at, the Red Wings game, which is, it's just funny. It's funny and fun. They start doing it at the Griffins game, and Bobby Kaiser and Larry, they notice it, and they're like, oh, that's great. That's so much fun. So then Saturday comes and goes, and they did it again more than once. Now, in my ear, I'm hearing my technical director. He goes, God damn it. All right, enough. He's like, this is getting annoying. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's great. It's fantastic. That was all cool. I've enjoyed this so much. And so everybody hopefully will just chill. We lost. Fuck it. Listen to me. I'm saying we lost. Like I'm on the team. No, it's all good. It happens. All right. Now, thank you if you're enjoying the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube. I'm going to kick you out now. The audio version of this show is always available on Apple Podcasts and any other platform that you might use. Wherever you download shows, just search my name and subscribe to it. You get the full audio podcast. Now, the rest of this show, which I have plenty more to talk about, is available on Twitch. So I'm going to kick you out, but then go to Twitch and get the rest of it. Either download the Twitch app on your mobile device or on your laptop or desktop, go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. And once you download that app on your phone, search Eric Zane Live, and there I am. I have a Patreon as well where I put tons of content up. There is a paywall there for that. If you want more content of me, I've got an entire stable of shows that are available there. Patreon.com/Eric Zane, and you can sign up for free. Patreon.com/Eric Zane.